Hi, I'm Karen Hodgins, co-founder of Connections and Kids Personal Finance Educator. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the Registry Recordings game. Now, I created the game as a way to bring together all the money management concepts that I've been talking to my 4th, 5th, and 6th grade students about. Things like the importance of saving and ways to earn money and how to be a wise consumer and ways to make your money grow and vocabulary like interest and dividends. But the good news is you don't need to have covered those concepts with your kids or your students in order to play the game. You can actually use the scenario cards as springboards to those topics. Okay, now the PDF for this lesson can be found on our website at connections.com under the tips and resources section of Kids and Money. And the PDF is 3 pages long. The first page has the directions and some of the scenario cards in it. The second page is filled with scenario cards. And then the third page is the registry. Now, each person playing the game is going to need their own registry, so you need as many copies of this as you have kids playing the game. In the classroom, I pair students up, but at home, I play with all of my kids at the same time. Okay, so here's something that you can do as well. Instead of using this registry, you can actually go to your bank, your credit union, and see if they have the real deal. Kids like the authenticity of these real registers, and it makes it a lot of fun for them. They often like to act grown up, and this is one way that they can do that. All registers are slightly different, so you'll need to work with your kids or your students on how to fill those in. Okay, so the first thing you need to do before you play the game is cut out those scenario cards. Okay, when you have them all cut out, you're going to put them into a lunch bag, paper lunch bag. And it will look something like this. All of those cards are in there. In the classroom, for the first time, I have students do all the cutting for me because otherwise that's a lot of cutting. Okay, so when you're ready to play the game, students will take turns. And they reach into the bag and they pull out a scenario card. So this one says, receive paper route paycheck. Nice, they have a paper route. Deposit $33.45. So their register is seated with $100. They're going to start with that. So for the scenario card that I pulled out, I would then write under the description paper route, and then I would, it's a deposit, so under the credit column I would put $33.45, and then I would add that to my $100. So I'm keeping a running record. Super important. I feel that kids really need hands-on experiences with activities like this so that they understand what happens to their money coming in and their money going out. Later when they're a little bit older and they get their real checking account, they need to know how this works, and this is one way to do that. So then after I record that on my recording sheet, then my partner goes, and it's important that every time you pull out one of these scenario cards, you keep them in a pile on the table because the game ends when all of the scenarios have been taken out of the bag. And when that happens, you're going to have something, if they're looking in pairs, that looks like this. You can see that these two players here have filled out and kept a running balance of all of the things that happened when they were pulling out their cards. Now, I actually like to have students use the calculator when they're doing this. This is not a lesson in addition or subtraction, although you could use it that way as well. But I really want them to focus on the stuff that's going on here, the money stuff that's going on there. And then the person who wins is the person who ends up with the most money at the end. Now, kids love to play this game, and it is a great way to give them a little bit of a taste for what earning paper route money or going to the movies with friends or giving some money to charity or so forth does to the balance, the amount of money that they have, and they really enjoy it. So I know your students will too. Have fun.